Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. My name is Abbasi. I'm a hospitality sales professional. Today we are conducting interview the most handsome general manager of Hashi Hotels, Mr. Aqeel Abbasi. How are you doing, sir?
Walaikum salam, Awais. I'm very much fine. Thank you very much.
Mr. Abbasi, thank you so much for your time. Sir, what brings you to the hospitality profession?
Thank you very much, Awais, first of all, for having me in your show. It's a long story. Basically, I am a native from Ahmedabad, a small village of Hazara. It's called Malkot. It's close to Murray, basically. So after the primary education, we shifted to Pindi. My father said no because the schools are a bit away from our village. So he said no, let's transfer them or shift them to a city. So we came to Rawalpindi, and from there I continued my education. After the graduation, I did this software and hardware in computer.
All right.
I mean, from the Petroleum Institute. That was the first institute under Ministry of Petroleum in Pakistan.
All right.
So I was a very good programmer in COBOL and C language. So I was initially I started my career as a teacher, and though my family was settled in Riyadh, so I went to Riyadh. So वहाँ से फिर मैंने अपना एक मेरा colleague था मेरा college का class fellow. He was working in Hyatt Regency Riyadh. So one day I went to his accommodation, and then he said, why don't you start and why don't you come and join in hotel? So the next day I went to Hyatt Regency Riyadh. उसने फिर मुझे अपने डायरेक्टर एचआर से इंट्रोडक्शन करवाया, and then that's how I started my career. I never thought about that, I will go to the hospitality. Basically, I was looking for a IT job, and in fact, I got a couple of offers from different ministries as a programmer. But when I went to the hotel, and I really liked the atmosphere, the people, they were really doing good. And by the way, the general manager, he was a Pakistani, his name was Munir Khan.
All right.
And when I looked at him, and the first thing it came in my mind that, I should start my career in hospitality and to become a general manager like him.
Wow.
And that's how I started.
So now your wishes came true. You started your career from the front office as a guest service agent, and now you are serving as a general manager of PC Rawalpindi.
I started as a receptionist, but Hyatt Regency is a company which really give you great opportunities to grow if you really want to. They asked me what you can do. I said I was super user in computer. There was a PMS system. It's called CLS. So I was one of the best user into it, and as my background was IT, so it was very easy for me to switch into IT. So I became an IT manager for Hyatt Regency. Then again I went to the Germany for different IT courses. By the way,
Mr. Abbasi, you spent decades in hospitality. What exactly the inspiration you got it? And I'm sure आपने तो एक नशे व फराज देखे होंगे इस प्रोफेशन के. कोई ऐसी story which is very close to you, which really inspire you or motivates you, which makes you to be more passionate into it?
Well, I haven't told anybody yet about this story, but the story is like after the graduation and when I was doing this diploma in Petroleum Institute, through a really like a minister level person, he gave me a small card, and then he wrote on that, and he said, go to Director HR in PC Burman.
Right.
Because I have asked him, I said,
PC Burman.
yeah. So that was, I think, my first request to him that, I would like to have the job in PC Burman. So if you can help me out. So he wrote on his business card, I believe, yeah. And then he said, give this business card to Director HR in PC Burman, then he will give you the opportunity to work in PC Burman. So I went there with my CV, and I had a file like this with other documents also. And when I went to Director HR, he said, okay, I will have your interview with the front office manager. I applied for receptionist, by the way. And he asked me to sit and wait because the front office manager is in the meeting. So I waited for almost 5 to 6 hours on the bench outside of the HR office.
In spite of having the reference.
In spite of having the reference. And then he came out, not he himself, but somebody came from HR, and he said, Director HR said that, the front office manager is in a meeting, and we will call you later. We have your CV, and then we will call you. But he never called. And that day, when I was going back, I had tears in my eyes.
Oh my God.
I said, he asked me to wait for 6 hours, and he's telling me now to call. He will call later. So I think that was the moment when I decided that I will come back to this hotel when I will become something. And believe me, all this journey of my hospitality experience. When I went to Saudi Arabia, as I said before, that I was looking for IT job because I never thought of going, but that something was in my mind that whenever, whatsoever the position I will have, I will go in PC Bourbon when I will have something in my profile. So I got that opportunity, and then now when I went back, when I joined Ashu Hotels as a corporate director rooms, and the GM of the hotel came out from the main entrance into the parking to receive me.
All right.
That was my dream, I think, which has come true. And that was the best moment in my life, which I will never forget.
That's so nice a story. I'm sure it's very nice. Mr. Abbasi, what's the future of hospitality in Pakistan, and what's the future of hospitality for the youngsters in our country?
It's a bright future in Pakistan. I mean, we have a lot of opportunities in tourism. And when we started, when I started 25, 26 years before, we did not have many institutes, those were giving education in hospitality business. Now I believe there are many opportunities for the youngest, for this generation to learn and to get this admission in different universities and get education for the hospitality business. And plus, there were very few hotels during that time. And now, when it comes to we have so many hotels we are coming up in north. Our presence is in Malam Jabba. We recently opened a hotel in Hunza, Nasirabad, and then we are coming up with another property in Atabad. Likewise, the other companies like Avari and Serena, they are expanding a lot. So I mean, tourism is growing in Pakistan, and for the generation, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities.
Mr. Abbasi, what's your recommendation for the youngsters to build their career in hospitality business?
With my experience, as the only thing what you need to do is to be consistent.
All right.
People when they start career, they want to become manager overnight. In this profession, in hospitality, you need to have patience, and you need to make sure that you are consistent and you do not get. I have seen people, those have left the company for just 5,000, 6,000 to a different directions for the salary purposes. They are still there. But if you stay back in the hotel and you are consistent, I'm sure, and you perform well and you are flexible and you're accommodating, you will definitely grow in this hospitality business.
Mr. Abbasi, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you once again for having me in your show. Thank you.
Pleasure.